Hello there, and I hope you are doing well. This is a quick guide on how to complete the PsiOps Battlegrounds Cosmodrome on Grandmaster difficulty. I will first show you our loadouts, followed by the strategies. Timestamps are in the description below. This Grandmaster contains barriers and unstops. All three shield types are present within the GM, and the threat is Void. At the time of recording, the surges were Void and Strand. This could be different for you depending if you do the GM on the week it comes out, or later on for your Conqueror title. So always double check where surges are, match your subclasses and weapons to them. Now moving on to loadouts, we had a Warlock running Song of Flame combined with Getaway Artist for creating Arc Souls. The Hunter ran Deadfall for clearing ads along with Orpheus Rigs for additional Orbs of Power. The Titan ran Glacial Quake for ad control combined with Stoicism containing Sinful Seps and Heart of Inmost Light. For weapons we had a Warlock running Wish Ender for barriers and a Glaive for unstops with a Machine Gun for ads. The Titan ran a Sniper for barriers and the Monarch for the ads combined with a Machine Gun for clearing out the enemies. The Hunter ran Wish Ender for barriers and no hesitation for healing teammates, along with a Machine Gun for ad control. Moving on to mods, starting with a class item. Run any of the mods to help reduce your ability regen when using different abilities. You could also run the mod's Proximity Ward and Healthy Finisher to get your health back, along with an Overshield when performing a finisher. For leg armor, you can run mods to help with your ability regen when picking up Orbs of Power. You could also run Scavenger mods to pick up additional ammunition when picking up ammo bricks. For your chest armor, run a Concussive Dampener to help reduce incoming damage from grenades and the barrier's explosive attacks. Also run a Void Resist mod because incoming Void damage is increased by 25%. If you have room, run an Arc Resist mod. For gauntlets, run any mods that boost your abilities or help create Orbs of Power. Finally, for the helmet, I suggest you have a Heavy Ammo Finder mod on, along with Scout for additional heavy bricks. You could also run Siphon mods for making Orbs of Power, or run Ashes to Assets to get super back on grenade kills. These are the loadouts that we used. Either copy them or use them to make your own designs. You do not need the same loadouts, subclasses or characters that we have to complete this GM. With that out of the way, let's get straight into it. Once you spawn in, you will have to escort the vehicle to the doorway. Around it will be some ads and a barrier champ. Killing a few of the enemies will bring in additional reinforcements, including a second barrier champion. Just stay near the back and snipe at all the ads around you. Now once you clear them, progress the vehicle by standing within the radius. The ads will be continuously spawning in, so the quicker you deliver the weapon, the less ads you will need to face. Once you get roughly into the middle of the area, more fallen ads will spawn in front of you, and 4 snipers will appear either on the far left building or the far right building. The best method for this is for 2 people to sit back and snipe the ads from afar whilst an invis hunter progresses the weapon. Make sure at least one person is focusing on the snipers because they will be continuously spawning in until the weapon is stopped by the brig. Once this happens, the snipers will despawn from the buildings. Instead, more ads will begin spawning behind the brick, including more snipers, wretches and captains. At this point, fall back to the right side or behind the weapon and use the walls and buildings for cover to safely dispose of the brick and the enemies around it. If you use the buildings on the right, the ads won't rush you, but they will hide amongst the pillars. This isn't the safest location, so chain your supers and use your heavy. There are heavy ammo boxes scattered throughout the GM for you to collect. When the brick dies, begin moving the weapon forward again. There will be more enemies, including a barrier champ that will spawn in behind the dead brig. Same as before, the quicker you move the weapon, the less ads you will face. The enemy combinations will be exactly the same, except this time there will be explosive shanks. Again, have one invis hunter continue to move the weapon whilst the other 2 snipe from afar. Once the weapon reaches the corner, the ads will all become hive and they will all spawn by the door. Make sure the weapon goes past the heavy box on the left and stops. From here, you'll need to kill all the waves of enemies. Whatever you do, do not jump onto the building to your right. If you do, 2 knights and 3 wizards will spawn on top and they have infinite spawns. No matter how many you kill, they will be continuously spawning in until you complete this part of the encounter, so do not jump up onto that roof. Instead, stay down here by the wall and behind the weapon. At any point, you can retreat behind the left side wall. When the vehicle stops, kill the thrall and any of the ads around them. When they are clear, the 2 shriekers at the back will open up and 2 unstopped champs will spawn in. A Stasis Titan here is perfect for distracting the unstops whilst the other 2 stun them and kill the shriekers. You will need to get a little closer for them to open up. Once done, fall back and focus on eliminating the champions and the ads. If you stay at the back, most of the ads won't be able to hit you, so you can just snipe them from afar. Once they are clear, a Lightbearer wizard will spawn in along with 2 barrier champs and an unstopped champ. Ignore the wizard for now because it won't be able to hit you if you are all the way at the back. Instead, focus on the unstopped first. The barriers will spawn a few seconds apart and they will hang around the weapon at the back. They will unfortunately be able to bombard you from that location, so do your best to get rid of the unstop as quickly as possible and then focus on the barriers. At this point the ads will be all dead, so then you can kill the Lightbearer wizard and remember to kill the ghost so it won't respawn. Don't forget to pick up your heavy ammo boxes and any ammo before proceeding forward. The next room is one of the worst places of a GM because of a close quarter combat. Nonetheless, the safest place will be standing within the doorway leading to the room. It will be difficult for all three of you to be here and you will be getting in each other's way a lot. It is still safer than being inside. Now there are 3 waves of enemies to deal with here. For the first wave, start off by clearing the ads, which will consist of knights and acolytes. The vast majority of them will be rotating within line of sight of the doorway, so be patient and snipe away. Song of Flame and Stasis Titan are perfect for this because you can chain them together to fuel each other's supers. When the ads are cleared, 2 unstops will spawn in, one on the right and one on the back left. Focus on the closest and use the angle of the doorway to block out the other ads so you can focus on one at a time. Amongst the ads will be a mini wizard called a Hive Purifier that will drop a mote on the ground. You need to pick up 3 of them in total and bank them at the end of the encounter in the middle of the room to progress the area. Having an Invis Hunter here to go collect it is perfect, or what you can also do is to keep the Hive Purifier alive till the end so it is easier to pick up the mote. This way you can also pick up any ammo around the room too before the next wave. Now on to the second wave. For this wave you will again have another 2 Unstop champs, more knights, acolytes and a wizard to kill. Just like before, you will want to stay within the doorway and focus on clearing the ads and unstops one at a time. Try to keep the wizard alive till last so it is easier to pick up the mote. Finally, the third wave. This one will contain more acolytes and knights. This time there will be blistering wizards among them and 3 barrier champions that will spawn a little later after you cleared some of the ads. One of these barriers will contain the third and last mote, so try to keep it alive near the end. There is no easy way of doing this room other than staying within the doorway and taking your time with it. Remember that anyone can pick up the mote and anyone can bank it because it is shared amongst the team. Up next you have the boss area. For this, the boss will need to be teleported into the arena, but first you need to damage it enough for Kaido's Scions to spawn in and teleported. Just stay in the back of the hallway and snipe the boss from afar. The boss, even in his super, will not be able to hit you from this distance. There are ads around the boss, but you can mostly ignore them. Eventually you will be teleported into the main boss room. Remember that if you have single use supers, to use them here before starting the encounter because it will give you a fresh one. For this there are a few options. You can sit here at spawn and snipe the ads. You will have grenades thrown at you that can one-shot you, and the boss will throw its shields during its super into this area too. It can bounce off the walls and kill you all. The other option is to sit up onto the towers on the left and right sides where the PsiOps spears spawn in. They aren't the best cover, but you can always sit on the ledges around the middle of them. Just be careful to not walk off the map, and also you will be exposed from attacks coming from the opposite sides. During the boss's super you can crouch in the corners and wait it out or simply sit invisible. It is up to you. If you have a glaive you can use that to deflect the boss's shields, just be careful to not bounce them into your teammates. Start out by clearing some of the ads around you, which will consist of acolytes and wizards. Now you want to damage that boss as soon as you can and take off that first section of the health bar, which will make it disappear for now. The longer it stays in the room, the more of its supers you will need to deal with. At this point more ads will spawn in, including a projection of Savathun and an Unstop champ in the middle. You can use the sidewalls to mostly block out Savathun's attacks, allowing you to focus on the ads in the middle and the Unstop champ. Kill the Unstop champ and then use the spears in the middle to damage the projection. You can also use the spears on the ads if you want. The best places to hang around will be the spawn and the 2 towers on either side, but be careful of her attacks. Nova Bomb will send you off the map and her barrage does a lot of splash damage. Killing her will spawn the boss back in with more ads, so again focus on the boss and damage it so that it disappears. This will result in a mini boss ogre spawning in the middle along with 2 projections and 2 PsiOps spears. Focus on taking that ogre out first and thinning out some of the ads. Then concentrate on taking out one of the projections together. The easiest will be on the left side because there isn't much cover, so the target is out in the open. This way you can then quite literally just sit in a tower and bombard the one on the opposite side. Killing both projections will spawn the boss in for the final time. From here just kill the boss by either using the spawn or the towers for cover. Whichever location you choose, you will need to watch out for the grenades and shield attacks. Don't forget that you will need to finish the ghost off after you killed the boss. And there you have it, that is how you complete the PsiOps Battlegrounds Cosmodrome Nightfall on Grandmaster difficulty. If you have found the guide to be helpful, then please like, share and post a comment. Don't forget to subscribe for more Destiny 2 guides. Thank you for watching and I'll see you next time.